So guys, if you have been following the Nnamdi Kanu's trial and court cases, you must have seen the injustice that has been carried out on the leader of the IPOB, which is Nnamdi Kanu. But before showing you the reply and what the IPOB has just sent out, if you have been following or if you followed what happened in the court recently, you will notice that the federal government brought a DSS witness to testify wrongly against Nnamdi Kanu. And one of the false testimony he made was that Nnamdi Kanu sent him to kill 2,000 persons, but he only succeeded in killing 30. Never has Nnamdi Kanu sent anyone to do that. That was a blatant lie. Well, without wasting much of your time, let's get straight to what the IPOB said. And in reaction to what Nnamdi Kanu passed through in court recently through the hands of the federal government, the IPOB made a press statement on the 13th of June, which is after the recent trial, and the statement read, "The council prosecution of Nnamdi Kanu continues to collapse under its own embarrassments. The global family of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, under the supreme leadership of Nnamdi Kanu, watches with utter disbelief as the Nigerian government farcical trial against our leader degenerates further into a spectacle of comedy, incompetence, and judicial abuse." At today's hearing, which was the last hearing held on the 13th of June, the prosecution paraded yet another witness, codenamed PWDD, whose appearance only served to further expose the emptiness of the charges against Nnamdi Kanu. To his credit, PWDD appeared unmasked, admitting openly that he had previously interacted with Nnamdi Kanu in 2015 during his earlier illegal detention by the DSS. A telling reminder that this is now the third unlawful detention of our leader for his legitimate advocacy for Biafra self-determination. In an unprecedented display of prosecutorial bankruptcy, Awomolo SAN, leading the prosecution, resorted to submitting internet-sourced newspaper publications as so-called evidence in a high-profile terrorism trial. In case you don't know, Awomolo is the SAN representing the federal government, which have been fighting against Nnamdi Kanu. I continue. Adding to the absurdity, the court was taken on a site visit to inspect the so-called container and radio transmitter, items which the Court of Appeal had previously ruled should be the subject of proceedings in Oka, not Abuja. The prosecution's insistence on violating subsisting court orders is not only contemptuous, but a flagrant display of executive lawlessness. This is nothing but persecution by any name. When asked to proceed with the examination in chief, the prosecution shamefully declined and sought an adjournment. Nnamdi Kanu's case was adjourned for the 18th, 19th, and 20th of this month. The Honorable Justice Omotosho, in a clear warning, granted a brief window for continuation, but firmly ordered that the prosecution must close its case by Thursday or risk having the case closed automatically. The world is witnessing the tragic comedy Nigeria calls terrorism trial, a trial that now depends on recycled propaganda, internet phishing expeditions, and discredited media reports rather than actual evidence. No amount of media manipulation or prosecutorial grandstanding can mask the undeniable facts. There is no case against Nnamdi Kanu. We urge the international community, human rights organizations, and consensus observers to continue to monitor these disgraceful proceedings. The Nigerian state is merely exposing itself before the world as incapable of upholding the most basic standards of law, fairness, or justice. This was a strong message sent to Tinubu government and the Supreme Court led by Justice Omotosho. The injustice against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must stop. Well, at this point, what's your thought about what Nnamdi Kanu is actually passing through? Do you think this case should be settled out of court? Because from all evidence, Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer because he is innocent. Tell me what you feel about this in the comment section below. Do well to like this video, and most importantly, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below because I'll be bringing you more updates on this trial.